I'm Lori Worth.
And I'm Joe Worth.
And our son is Jackson, and Jackson is 13. He will be 14 next month.
I'm Jackson, and I'm 13. I like to play video games. I like to watch KU Sporting, and I like to hang out with my friends.
So 2 years ago, January 2017, Jackson was feeling just really run down and tired, and I kind of just chalked it up to growing pains. He would have some pains going up and downstairs. He was playing competitive soccer and basketball at the time, and he was kind of just worn out when he was playing, and you could tell he was wearing down and not trying hard. So one Monday, I came downstairs after he had been up for like 45 minutes, and he had fallen back asleep. And so I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I decided that day that I wanted to take him in because I thought he had mono. So I took him into the doctor. Within that time, they went ahead and they said, we're going to go ahead and do a CBC. His spleen was enlarged, which could have been mono as well. When they did the CBC, his white blood cell count was over 480,000. Normal's 5,000. We are 95% sure he has some kind of cancer. And I fell to my knees, and he was in the room next to me. I said, somebody go in there with him, please. And I went back in the room after I kind of settled. And he said, I'm not gonna die, am I? I said, no, I will never let you die. And I just told him that we had to go to a hospital because he was really sick. And I mean, the children's came and took him right then. They wouldn't even let me. I rode with them, but it was just like I couldn't even drive him. And I was like, we drove here, and they're like, no. They're like, he's really sick. And I was like, whoa. And so it was just off to the PICU, and we got there. We were there in the PICU for about 4 days. What he has is called chronic myeloid leukemia, and it's not curable. So he will have it for his life. And unfortunately, he has to take chemo every night, which just has some side effects that suck. So he is a little smaller than average. He has quite a few pains that he'll get. You know, we have to put poison into our children to keep them safe and save their lives, which totally sucks.
He's not like a lot of cancer patients where they have no immune system. I always kind of describe it as his is about 80%.
So when they told me, I was like speechless, like scared, and just like, it'll be fine, you'll be fine, don't overreact.
What he has is unusual in children. They say there's less than 100 kids diagnosed with it each year.
They call it like the 65-year-old man cancer.
And so one of my concerns is always, these medicines that he's on have only been around since about the mid-90s.
And they're for adults.
90s. They were designed for adults, and they just scale down what they would do for an adult. They just scale it down for him. But the long-term effect of being on these medications for 30 years, they haven't been around that long to really know what the end result of that's going to be. There's side effects that he has that most adults wouldn't have to deal with. It slows his growth. Well, the average 65-year-old person is pretty well done growing.
So like, it kind of ruined everything. Like you have dreams, and it kind of just cuts out all the dreams. Like the soccer and the basketball. Like I'm not gonna be 6 foot, like the shortest player ever. And I'm not gonna be a basketball player. And I couldn't play soccer anymore, which I love soccer, and I couldn't do that. It just kind of ruined that. But it also brought good things. I saw new perspectives of life and how it was better. Kind of helped me feel like I was giving back, kind of. And it just made me feel good about life.
The way I see it is the more people who know about it and are there for support for whatever reason, whether it be helping to raise awareness and money for research, or whether it's just there for emotional support. The more people you have, the better.
Jackson has had so many opportunities because of Braden's Hope. Obviously, it's not a good thing to have cancer, but he has blossomed in so many ways. Last year at the gala, he was one of the MCs, and it made him like such a little showman.
Yeah, we've done, done several events with the Royals. He got to carry the first pitch baseball out at a game one day.
And Braden's Hope has done, so much for us. Talise, all of them are amazing.
And the money that they've raised for research, and it's not just going to, cancer research or pediatric cancer research. It's going to this is what you're going to use it for, and we want to see how you did.
It's local.
And it stays local, and
you hear from the doctors who are doing things, which is awesome.
It's not just going off somewhere to be in some sort of a fund. It's actually you see the results of what they're doing with it, which is nice.
Hopefully, he wants to be with Braden's Hope forever. His 2 jobs, he wants to either be an engineer or he wants to be a Braden's Hope advocate. He wants to be like the MC. He wants to take Talise's job, I think. He's going to be that kid, I think, who grows up with Braden's Hope, and he'll even be a helper after. He's slated, 100% has told me he better be at the gala every year.
Well, I would just thank them all for the things that I've gotten to do, and the fun things I've gotten to do, and the calendars and the gala and all that. But I'm also going to thank them for being there for us and helping. It's just kind of inspiring. And then sometimes you believe that God gave you this disease, and because he knew you could take it on, and so he gave it to you, and he has a plan for you to go with later in the future and use it for good. So it's not always a bad thing, and I believe that it's not a bad thing all the time. Bad things can come from good things, but good things can come from bad things. And I just believe that I will do something, and Braden's Hope is to make it better, and Braden's Hope can do that, help me with that, and they just kind of are the way for me to do that.